Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamam Shloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistiki. Continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 15, Description of the Kingdom of God, text number 46 onwards. Kumara uchuhu yoantarhito hridi gatto api duratmanam tvam so adyavno nayanam moolam anantaradha yariheva karana vivrena guham gato na pitranuvarnitaraha bhavad Pitranuvarnitaraha Bhavad Udbhavena. The Kumara said, My dear Lord, our dear Lord, you are not manifested to rascals, even though you are seated within the heart of everyone. But as far as we are concerned, we see you face to face, although you are unlimited. The statements we have heard about you from our father Brahma through the years have now been actually realized by your kind appearance. So the Lord came running when he heard Jaya and Vijay were being cursed by Kumaras. And now he is standing before the four Kumaras, and the Kumaras are now they became the devotees. They were Brahmavadis, but they became devotees, looking at the beautiful face of the Lord, and they smell the tulsi leaf, the lotus feet of the Lord. And now they are offering prayers to the Lord. The so-called yogis who concentrate their mind or meditate upon the impersonal void are described here. This verse of Srimad Bhagavatam describes people who are expected to be very expert yogis, engaged in meditation, but who do not find the Supreme Personality of Godhead seated within the heart. These persons are described here as Duratma, which means a person who has very crooked heart or a less intelligent person. Just opposite to a Mahatma, which means one who has a broad heart. So four Kumaras said, the Duratmas, they cannot see you, they cannot take your darshan, even though you're sitting right in their heart. Those so-called yogis who, although engaged in meditation, are not broad-hearted, cannot find the four-handed Narayan form, even though he is seated within their heart. Although the first realization of the Supreme Absolute Truth is impersonal Brahman, one should not remain satisfied with experiencing the impersonal effulgence of the Supreme Lord. In the Ishopanishad also, the devotee prays that the glaring effulgence of Brahman may be removed from his eyes so that he can see the real personal feature of the Lord and thus satisfy himself fully. So Brahman effulgence cannot satisfy anybody because there is no relationship. There is no loving reciprocation with the Brahman feature of the Lord. So full satisfaction, full enjoyment, full bliss comes only when is engaged in the service of the Lord, seeing the Lord face to face. Similarly, although the Lord is not visible in the beginning because of his glaring bodily effulgence, if a devotee sincerely wants to see him, the Lord is revealed to him. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord cannot be seen by our imperfect eyes. He cannot be heard by our imperfect ears. And he cannot be experienced by our imperfect senses. But if one engages in devotional service with faith and devotion, then God reveals himself. This is what we sing every morning, actually, when we sing Guru Ashtakam prayers, that Madhurya Leela Gunaru Shiradika Madhavayora Para Madhurya Leela Gunarup Namna. So everything is in his name. So only His guna, his roop, his leela, his naam, everything is in the holy name. It's just we have to chant it properly. So Krishna will reveal everything to us at the right time. Here the four sages, Sanat Kumar, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanak, are described as actually sincere devotees. Although they had heard from their father Brahma about the personal feature of the Lord, only the impersonal feature Brahman were revealed to them. But because they were sincerely searching for the Lord, they finally saw his personal feature directly, which corresponded with the description given by their father. They thus became fully satisfied. Here they expressed their gratitude because, although they were foolish impersonalists in the beginning, by the grace of the Lord, they could now have the good fortune to see his personal feature. So they were impersonalists, Prabhupada says here, and they also admitted that. But they had a sincere desire to see the Lord, to search for the Lord. And because they were sons of Brahma, they had the mercy of Brahmaji, they had the uh, benediction of Brahmaji, or mercy, or the grace of Brahmaji, by which the Lord became, Lord became, like, Lord gave them the darshan he made. This is all because of Brahmaji. Another significant aspect of this verse is that the sages describe their experience of hearing from their father Brahma, who was born of the Lord directly. In other words, the disciplic succession from Lord to Brahma and from Brahma to Narad and from Narad to Vyas and so on is accepted here. Because Kumaras are sons of Brahma, they had the opportunity to learn Vedic knowledge from the disciplic succession of Brahma, and therefore, in spite of their impersonalist beginnings, they became, in the end, direct seers of the personal feature of the Lord. So Lord becomes grateful to his devotees, so he gave darshan to even his impersonalist sons. That's how much Lord loves his devotees. And now the four Kumaras became devotees of the Lord. Tam tvam vidam bhagwan parmattatvam sattin sampratiratiam rachayantam mesham yatte anutap viditar drid bhakti yoger udgrandhyo hridi vidurmunyo viragaha. We know that you are the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, who manifests his transcendental form in the uncontaminated mode of pure goodness. This transcendental eternal form of your personality can be understood only by your mercy, through unflinching devotion service by great sages whose hearts have been purified in the devotional way. The absolute truth can be understood in three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here it is admitted that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the last word in understanding the absolute truth. Even though four Kumaras were instructed by the great learned Father Brahma, they could not actually understand the absolute truth. They could only understand the supreme absolute truth when they personally saw the personality of Godhead with their own eyes. In other words, if one sees or understands the supreme personality of Godhead, the other two features of the absolute truth, namely impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma, are also automatically understood. So it's just like Prabhupada once explained. If somebody has $1,000, that means he already has $1 and $10. So it means if somebody has realized Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he has already realized impersonal Brahman and Paramatma. Therefore, the Kumaras confirm you are the ultimate absolute truth. The impersonalists may argue that since the Supreme Personality of Godhead was so nicely decorated, he was therefore not the absolute truth. But here it is confirmed that the all variegatedness of the absolute platform is constituted of Shuddha Sattva, or pure goodness. So just because he was decorated so nicely doesn't mean he's in the mode of passion. He's always at the stage of pure goodness. In the material world, any quality, goodness, passion, or ignorance is contaminated. Even the quality of goodness here in the material world is not free from tinges of passion and ignorance. But in the transcendental world, only pure goodness without any tinge of passion or ignorance exists. Therefore, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his variegated pastimes and paraphernalia are all pure Sattva Guna. Such variegatedness and pure goodness is exhibited eternally by the Lord for the satisfaction of the devotees. The devotee does not want to see the Supreme Personality of Absolute Truth in voidness or impersonalism. See, a little philosophy here. All Prabhupada is stressing on that the spiritual world and everybody in the spiritual world, they're all on the stage of pure Sattva-guna, not just Sattva-guna, pure Sattva-guna, which is also called as Vasudev Sattva. There is no tinge of any material passion, ignorance, or even goodness over there. So the Supreme Lord, even though he is decorated beautifully, even though he has thousands and thousands of Lakshmis serving him, he's always at the stage of pure Sattva-guna. So generally, in the material world, Sattva-guna is associated with a person who's very calm and quiet and serene. I mean, these are the qualities described by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita also. But Shuddha Sattva-guna could be different. Even though the Lord decorated, even though Krishna comes and steals butter, or he performs as Ras Leela with the gopis, or other pastimes. But all his pastimes are also at the same level of pure Sattva-guna. Nothing in the material world. No pastime, no guna, no roop, no leela, no nothing of Krishna is in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. It's transcendental. We just have to understand it properly. In one sense, the absolute transcendental variegatedness is meant only for the devotees, not for others, because this distinct feature of transcendental variegatedness can be understood only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord and not by mental speculation or the ascending process. It is said that one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead when one is even slightly favored by him. Otherwise, without his mercy, a man may speculate for thousands of years and not understand what is actually the absolute truth. So by our speculation, how far we can reach, how far our minds or our intelligence can reach. Krishna, that's why it's called Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means one who is not reachable by our material senses. Only by his mercy, when he wants to favor somebody, when he wants to give his mercy to somebody, when he wants himself to be revealed to somebody, only then that devotee can see him. Otherwise, no way possible. Only when Krishna wants. This mercy can be perceived by the devotee when he is completely freed from contamination. It is stated, therefore, that only when all contamination is rooted out and the devotee is completely detached from material attractions can he receive this mercy of the Lord. Or if a devotee becomes favorable to a person, then Lord can reveal himself to that person also, because he has done something to please the devotee. Just like there is this beautiful story of Ramanujacharya, when Lord Ranganath Shobha Yatra was going on and Ramanujacharya was attending that, and he saw one person with his girlfriend in the Shobha Yatra, but the person was constantly looking at the face of his girlfriend and he was holding umbrella on her also. Ramanujacharya got surprised. He called his disciple, go call that man here. So that man came and Ramanujacharya, what are you doing? Ranganathji's Shobha Yatra is going and you're looking at your girlfriend's face. Why? And the person whose name was Dhanurdhar, he said, actually, I don't see anything more beautiful than the eyes of my girlfriend. Either it was his girlfriend or wife, whatever. So that's why I don't see any beauty in Ranganathji. So I was looking at my wife's or girlfriend's eyes. Ramanujacharya. Now this person is completely in passion or ignorance. Ramanujacharya said, what if I show you something more beautiful than your girlfriend's eyes? Dhanurdhar said, no, it's not possible. Ramanujacharya, what if? Just take it for granted that if I show you something, would you like to look at? He said, sure, I'll take the challenge. I'll accept the challenge. Then Ramanujacharya asked him to come next morning to take darshan of Lord Ranganath. And it was because of the mercy of Ramanujacharya when Dhanurdhar went to take darshan, along with his wife, he went to take darshan of Lord Ranganath. And Ranganathji gave him the darshan with showing his exquisite beauty. Dhanurdhar said, there cannot be anything more beautiful than this. So it's a mercy of the Lord, but only when either he is satisfied with the devotee who is doing his sadhana, or this devotee somehow or other he got the mercy of another devotee. Here, 4 Kumaras, because they got the mercy of Brahmaji, the Lord gave them the darshan. Of course, they also had intense desire to see the Lord, but because they were impersonalists, Lord was not at all obliged to give them darshan. But they were sons of Brahmaji, so Lord gave them the darshan. And now they became the devotees. Natyantikam viganyatyapi te prasadam kim vanyadyar bhayam bhru unnayaste yang tvangri sharana bhavatah kathaya kirtanya tirtha yashasah kushala rasagyaha. Persons who are very expert and most intelligent in understanding things as they are engaged in the hearing narrations of auspicious activities and pastimes of the Lord, which are worth chanting and worth hearing. Such persons do not care even for the highest material benedictions, namely liberation, to say nothing of other less important benedictions like the material happiness of the heavenly kingdom. Wow. So once those who are engaged in devotional service, they don't care for anything else. The transcendental bliss enjoyed by the devotees of the Lord is completely different from the material happiness enjoyed by less intelligent persons. Less intelligent persons in the material world are engaged by the 4 principles of benediction called Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Generally, they prefer to take to religious life to achieve some material benediction, the purpose of which is to satisfy the senses. When by that process they become confused or frustrated in fulfilling the maximum amount of sense enjoyment, they try to become one with the Supreme, which is according to their conception, mukti or liberation. There are 5 kinds of liberation, the less important of which is called sayujya, to become one with the Supreme. Devotees do not care for such liberation because they are actually intelligent, nor are they inclined to accept any of the other 4 kinds of liberation, namely to live on the same planet of the Lord as a Lord, that is Salokya Mukti, to live with him side by side as an associate, Samipya Mukti, to have the same opulence, Sarshti Mukti, and to attain the same bodily features, Sarupya Mukti. They are concerned only with glorifying with the Supreme Lord and his auspicious activities. Actually, there is a verse in Bhagavatam which says a devotee does not care for any of these muktis if there is no service involved. If there is service involved, they don't care whatever mukti or no mukti, doesn't matter. So just the muktis are not important if there is no service. pure devotional service is Shravanam Kirtanam, etc. Pure devotees who take transcendental pleasure in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord do not care for any kind of liberation. Even if they are offered the five liberations, they refuse to accept them, as stated in Bhagavatam in the third canto. Materialistic persons aspire for the sense enjoyment of heavenly pleasure in the heavenly kingdom, but devotees reject such material pleasure at once. Devotee does not even care for the post of Indra, let alone any other thing. Indra is the chief demigod. And just imagine his post, and just imagine the opulence he might have, and the lifespan he has, and the beauty he has, and the strength he has. We look at the rich people of the world, Mukesh Ambani or Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or Bezos or anybody like that, and the whole world is going crazy after whatever they got, and they want to have just a piece of it. Just imagine position of Indra, which is millions and millions times greater than all these people combined. And Prabhupada said the devotee does not even care for the post of Indra. He doesn't want to become Indra. A devotee knows that any pleasurable material position is subject to be annihilated at a certain point. Even if one reaches the post of Indra, Chandra, or any other demigod, he must be dissolved at a certain stage. A devotee is never interested in such temporary pleasure. From Vedic scriptures, it is understood that sometimes even Brahma and Indra fall down, but a devotee in the transcendental abode of the Lord never falls. This transcendental stage of life, in which one feels transcendental pleasure in hearing the Lord's pastimes, is also recommended by Lord Chaitanya. When Lord Chaitanya was talking with Ramanand Rai, there were varieties of suggestions offered by Ramanand regarding spiritual realizations, but Lord Chaitanya rejected all but one, that one should hear the glories of the Lord in association with pure devotees. That is acceptable for everyone, especially in this age. One should engage himself in hearing from pure devotees about the activities of the Lord. That is considered the supreme benediction for mankind. So the devotees are just happy hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, serving the Lord, looking at the beautiful features of the Lord, decorating the Lord, cooking for the Lord, or doing other services of the Lord. They're just very, very happy because this gives the ultimate eternal pleasure that the soul is looking for. Even the post of Brahma or Indra or anything else in the material world will not give satisfaction to a devotee. So that is what we have to hanker for. Any moment we get, any chance we get to hear about the Lord, to glorify the Lord, we should just take it. Just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that for a Kshatriya like you, Arjuna, this moment of this opportunity of war comes you don't even ask for, but this opportunity comes for a Kshatriya like you. So similarly, for a devotee, of every second is an opportunity to talk of the Lord, to hear about the Lord, to think of the Lord, to serve the Lord, to see the Lord. And let's make good use of those opportunities and make progress. Slowly, we make progress. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any question or comment.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the beautiful class.
Thank you.
Really very nice. You should always take every opportunity. Thank you so much.
So tomorrow will be another opportunity for Radha Prabhu to take the class because I'm going for a site visit, so I'll be coming back late. So Prabhuji, please continue with the class tomorrow.
Tomorrow I can't do. I'm going out of town early morning. We'll be traveling.
Oh.
I don't know. Like tomorrow. Maybe I will be driving.
Okay, so in that case, there won't be class tomorrow.
So on Saturday you are back.
Yeah, just going for one day. Okay, so you all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare